Well, so we're here again, aren't we? 7-0 Steelers at the end of the first half. 3 interceptions for the Browns and a Pop Warner offense. Well, y'all wanted Desmond Harrison to start. You think Tyrod Taylor trusts him now? Do you think I trust Tyrod Taylor? Do you think anything in this offense makes any damn bit of sense? Do you think any game planning was done whatsoever? I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. You come out in fucking rain, and you run like 11 out of 12 pass plays to start the game. How can that be? How is it possible that any person who comes to Cleveland to call plays turns into a brain damaged, closed head injury car accident victim? How is it possible? You have to establish control of the line of scrimmage, and look what we do. And it's obvious, Tyrod Taylor is scared shitless. He looks like Deshaun Kaiser. He does, except that Kaiser would have thrown 3 interceptions already, trying to force the ball, and Tyrod Taylor runs away and just gets swallowed up, and that's the end of that. He goes back, nobody's open, then he looks off. Instead of going through his progressions, he runs away like a rookie. He plays like a rookie. He sucks, and the offensive line sucks. What little time he did have to throw, he's nowhere near his target. Nothing even came close. The one ball that was caught by Landry was thrown way behind him. It was strictly a great adjustment on Landry's part. What's the use of having Josh Gordon if you don't use him? And the announcer says, and for the first time in the game, Josh Gordon checks in, and we run the ball up the middle with Carlos Hyde. Really makes a lot of sense to me. Does it make all that kind of sense to you? It's great. Hide all the people. Jeff and Bama. Ken make it? Doggy Bones. It's good. Brian's in the chat room. Mark Jones is in the chat room. Bunch of people online tuning in because they want to see what I have to say about this. And it's like second verse, same as the first. As long as that idiot Hugh Jackson is there, we are going to lose. As long as his face is stamped on my screen, we're going to lose. Because he rubs off on people. It's not losing that's contagious, folks. It's Hugh Jackson who's contagious. I can't explain any of this. I mean, Desmond Harrison, my God. He jumps at the line of scrimmage like somebody's shoving a dildo up his ass. He's not ready. He's not ready to put him in this game. Just not ready. And look at some of the play calling. You know, we get that interception, you know, Denzel Ward's second interception. And it's like, all right, what are we going to do to seize the momentum? Why don't we run a deep draw play? I mean, what in the fuck is that? Why? They just, you know, and it's like, well, that's the design of the play. We're supposed to, you know, suck them in, and then we run a drop play, and it's open up the middle. And instead, 2 guys just drop Duke Johnson to the ground because, you know, the reality is that there is no offensive momentum, and we're playing scared. You know, everybody's going to be screaming for Baker Mayfield. Don't do it. Don't do it. Look at the amount of time the quarterback has to throw. No. Tyrod Taylor, let him escape until he gets injured. All right? That I told you earlier in the week, that's what he was there for. That the luckiest man in the world was Baker Mayfield because he wouldn't have to play behind this offensive line. And look, this is all Hugh Jackson putzing around for 4 preseason games, not settling on an offensive line, and then at the last minute just sending Bitonio back to a place he hadn't practiced all preseason and sending a rookie out. It makes no fucking sense. And when you see it in practice, you realize that the head coach has to be fired. That was his decision. And what does Hugh Jackson say? He says, well, you know, I'm going to improve. I'm going to improve as a coach. No, you failed again. Failed again. Crimson and Clover over and over. Every decision he makes will be the wrong decision because he's an idiot. I wish a big bus would come out onto the field, not leave any tracks on the field, but would just kind of come over to the sideline and run him over. And we'd be done with him once and for all. It's not funny anymore. It's like, how do you game plan this way? Look at this. Ben Roethlisberger's 10 of 19 with 3 interceptions. We should be overjoyed, as Stevie Wonder would say, but no, we're not overjoyed. Because we can't even put 2 plays back to back without jumping off sides, without roughing somebody. You know, and that's the other thing, of course. Did you really think, General Dog is asking me, why is Tyrod playing scared? You know, I say this every year, and it's the same story. You know, everyone looks good in the preseason because people are playing at half speed, trying not to get hurt. When the game goes full bore, it's like, I mean, Tyrod Taylor has, I mean, it's like, can't get out of the way. Tyrod Taylor is playing scared because the game is moving way too fast and he has no time. Okay? And it would be the same thing for Baker Mayfield, except Baker would be injured would be completely injured by now because he wouldn't even have that escapability. And there's no separation downfield in the receivers, which we saw all during the preseason anyway. Does anybody see the difference between the plain vanilla offense and the offense we're running right now? I sure as hell don't. Hello, Austin Talks. How you doing? Lawson Ormsby, nice to see you in the chat room. DC Gaming. And penalties. That's right, Jeff. Penalties. 7 of them. And always in the worst possible time. Was it a penalty on Garrett, on Myles Garrett? No. But according to the new rules, whenever they want to call it, you know, it's like, let's give Ben a dry ball. If you thought that you were going to get any breaks because you were on Hard Knocks, you're just going to get more Hard Knocks. The referee's going to come up behind you and he's going to fuck you. He's going to come up behind you and he's going to operate on your rear end. Because in the end, that's the way the NFL wants it. If you're unable to put points on the board, you're not going to win. Does this look like a team that could put together a drive that will end up with points? It doesn't to me. Does it look like we were working on anything at all in practice? It doesn't to me. Does it look like our running game our offensive line is moving people off the line of scrimmage? Not to me. Does it look like our defensive line against their running game is being pushed 4 yards back? Yes, it does. Have we tackled anybody in the backfield? No, we haven't. Yet we saw that throughout the preseason because they're playing at full speed and we're just who we are. Does it matter about Le'Veon Bell? No. It could be anyone with the holes that guy's running through. My God. Hello, Mr. Askew. How you doing? And Michael Young. Nice to see you, Michael, in the chat room. You know, it's amazing, but, you know, I'm looking at 17-0 that the Ravens are beating the Bills, and I'm thinking of the Nathan Peterman catalog, and you know, what's it matter whether it's Nathan Peterman or if it's Tyrod Taylor? We knew going into this whole thing that Tyrod Taylor was a safety first guy, and he looks down the field. The primary is not even open. He has no faith in the offensive line. Don't let what he says before the game fool you. He has no confidence in the offensive line, And let me tell you something else. When Ben Roethlisberger goes back to throw, he looks around and he's like, the new Arby's brisket sandwich. Wait a minute. So I better scrabble out of the pocket. Oh, look who's open. Tyrod Taylor goes back there, and the first guy's not open, and he starts running for his life. How is this any different? All it is Deshaun Kaiser without the interceptions, right? 0 fucking points. Can Ken make it? Yeah, 7 points might as well be Mount Everest. I mean, that's exactly what I'm seeing. It doesn't look like, and the problem is the turnovers we got, I mean, we're deep in our own territory where the offense has no chance. There is nothing to stop the Steelers from doing whatever they want. Because even a deep pass, the 60-yard Big Ben pass, is better than a punt. We don't threaten anybody in any way. It's just, and I don't know what to do about it. I mean, the offensive line is not up to snuff. They're not run blocking. They're not pass blocking. And honestly, it doesn't look to me as if Tyrod Taylor had enough preseason reps, and he doesn't look familiar with anybody, does he? Doesn't look like there's any comfort level with anyone. Can anyone tell me if Antonio Callaway just got lost in his car with a gun and a bag of weed in his car on the way to the stadium? Because I haven't seen him. I haven't, have you? I haven't, have you? No. Have you seen? I saw Njoku with a penalty and one ball that was thrown up close to one of his hands with 2 men on him. But how is it possible that nobody's open? Have we thrown the ball to Duke Johnson? No. How is it possible that Johnson's not open, Njoku's not open, Gordon's not open, Landry's not open? Oh, and if Landry thinks he's going to catch 100 passes, he has a better chance of catching herpes on the bus going back home. Believe me, it ain't going to happen. What can we do in the second half? Well, we get the ball to start the second half, and I don't know what good that does us because I have a feeling the turnovers are coming. It's that Pepperidge Farm feeling that I have, that the turnovers are coming. I have a feeling that Tyrod Taylor is going to be told, well, you can't just keep ducking your head down and running up the middle and taking 2-yard gains. You got to throw the ball downfield. And then you're going to find out that Tyrod Taylor's ball protection is all predicated on the fact that he doesn't throw it when people aren't open, which means he'll never throw it for this team because nobody's open. The scheme of the offense has to be miserable. I don't know what to say. Des Bryant sitting at home laughing his ass off. What I can tell you is this. We're only down 7-0. And now they're going to kick the ball off, and I got to get off the air, and I'll see you after the game to talk more in depth about this crap. But it's really disappointing as hell. Really disappointing as hell to see the offensive line just not doing dick. And now we're running the ball out. Oh, great. Look who's running it back. It's the United Van line. Look at the hole that was open and a flag already. Have we ever seen a kick return by the Cleveland Browns where there wasn't a flag? And Jabril Peppers runs as fast as my father, who's 88 and diabetic. I'll see you right after the game, I promise. Until then, see ya. Enjoy the second half like I will. Bye-bye now.